Hola amigos! Our senior design project took us to the top of the Andes Mountains of Ecuador to a small indigenous community called Quinlisk. This tight-knit community of roughly 150 people has no easy access to clean water. Community members spend an average of 40 hours per week per household collecting water. The nearest source is a 2,000-foot trek down the mountain and takes about 2 to 3 hours round trip. The mountainous terrain can be dangerous, and the lack of water results in a low quality of life and causes many health issues within the community.
For this trip, we were sponsored with Engineers Without Borders, which is a national humanitarian organization that partners with communities worldwide to implement projects to meet basic human needs. Their mission is to build a better world through projects that empower communities and equip leaders to solve the world's challenges. The goal of this project is to provide access to clean water by developing a water source, a water pump system, water storage, and a water distribution system for the community of Quinlisk.
Before taking the trip, we developed logistic plans to have an idea of what our schedule should be each day in order to achieve the goals of the trip. Additionally, we created a health and safety survey to administer to the community in order to gauge their current living situations and quality of life. This survey will also be administered at the conclusion of the project to be able to measure the impact that the water system has made on the lives of the community members.
During our trip to Ubinger, we realized the difficulties in getting the materials to the water source, which is where the water pump was being constructed. Vehicles could not get down that portion of the mountain, so all materials needed to be transported manually and by animals. A daily quota of amount of material to take down to the construction site was calculated and given to each family so that all of the necessary materials would be delivered by the time they were needed. We excavated the pump house sites and the trough from the water source to the pump house and sifted gravel and sand needed for the concrete mixture. Hundreds of pieces of rebar were measured and cut and transported to their site of use. Throughout the construction, we maintained records of the inventories of all of the tools and materials and kept track of how much was consumed. During the trip, the health and safety survey was administered to households and data was collected on their current health conditions. A temporary hand washing station was constructed from a water gallon, and we taught members how to wash their hands and the importance of doing so. By the end of the trip, our team completed the construction of 2 intake structures out of reinforced concrete, and a portion of the primary pump house was built.
While we were in Quinlisk, we created a GPS mapping of the community. To do this, we walked to every house in the community and marked it on a GPS. Additionally, we took a photo at every house. Upon returning to the United States, we took the points that we gathered from the GPS and uploaded it to an ArcGIS software to overlay it with a topographical map. We then linked the corresponding photo of the house to the point on the map. This map will be used by future EWB members to help with their design of the water distribution system.
Upon returning from the construction trip, we documented all information from the trip, including the data gathered on the health of each household and the amounts of materials and tools that were purchased and used. A dynamic spreadsheet was developed with photos of the materials in order to keep track and manage current and future inventories. A 3D model of the storage building that we assessed during the trip was created as a plan for how it should be organized in the future, with all of the tools and materials that will be used in maintaining the water pump system. In order to ensure the success of the water pump system implementation, a sustainability plan was created which includes plans for key contacts, inventory management, payment systems, communication efforts, and the requirements of the different training manuals. The remainder of this project is on course to fully provide a running water system to the community of Quinlisk by the end of 2017. Gracias por todos, Yupaychani amigos.
We would like to thank Dr. Sakri, Dr. Bundy, and the Engineers Without Borders Pittsburgh team, and Raul and Elisa Espinoza for their assistance with the logistical, organizational, and engineering guidance on this project. We couldn't have completed the assigned tasks without your help.